And now, an indie artist reveal worldwide spotlight. Billboard charting artist and Detroit native John White. Passionate, determined, and gifted artist. Lauded as an incredible saxophonist and consummate musician, Jay White's music is without a doubt soulfully driven, intertwining smooth jazz with a hint of straight ahead, creating his melodic sound. Jay White has garnered recognition playing alongside such artists as Peter White, P.J. Morton, and the late great Nick Coleone, and more. Join the conversation as we chat about his journey and recent release, On Your Feet.
Hey everybody, and it's a happy Monday. It is a great Monday. It's another Music Monday. I am so glad that you guys have popped on and you're joining us today. It is definitely a beautiful time to be in the house on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide. Sabrina Taylor, creator and host of the show. I've got John White with me. I definitely do. And he is in the green room. Before we bring him out, let's do this. Let's go in and let's share. How about that? Let's go in and share. And I'm actually monitoring and wanting to make sure that everything is coming out okay. I want you guys to share and tag, let everybody know Indie Artist Reveal is on the air, and we are so glad to be here tonight. I see Mario. Hey, buddy. So glad you're watching with us on this evening. Tag someone, share with someone, Mario. Let them know that we are on the air. I'm going to bring our special guest onto the platform. John,
Hey,
it has been too long.
yes, it has been.
It is. Do you know it was January 21?
Was it really? Wow.
hmm I took a look at the video prior to coming on tonight, and I was like, "Gosh, we were still in the pandemic."
Yes, we were because it started in 2020. So, like that next year was still going on. Wow.
Wow,
Four,
that's
4 years ago.
crazy. I know, right? Wow. So I know a lot has happened with you in 4 years. Yes.
Yes, I will say that steady, steady chopping, steady going,
Yeah.
forward motion.
Yeah. Where are you now? Are you
Um,
still? Yeah.
Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, out here in the desert.
Man, what's it like? I mean, I've what part? Well, I've been to on the West Coast. I've not been as far as California. I've been to Vegas.
Okay.
So it's Phoenix is hot.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I mean, in the summer, people think it's like that all the time, which is crazy to me. No, if it was 110 degrees all year long, I wouldn't live here. I don't think anybody would. So, like right now, it's like 70 degrees. It's like this time of year where it's 70 degrees every day, dropping in the 60s and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
in the summer, yeah, it's you don't want to be here between like June and September, even like May to September,
yeah,
sometimes October. Yeah, it could be bad.
really? Wow.
But
So
yeah,
how many years have you lived there now then?
11 years now.
Well,
Yeah,
that's not too bad.
yeah, yeah. It's been. I've lived up north. I was born and raised in Detroit. I was from Michigan.
Right.
I went to school in Arkansas. So I lived in Little Rock, Arkansas for like 10 years, and now I'm out west. So I can always say I've experienced different climates, different parts of the country, living there long enough, and I can unequivocally say I like Arizona the best as far as the climate. It's not even close.
And that's amazing that you are like familiar with Arkansas because I was actually born in the state of Arkansas.
Wow.
And then, knowing that you kind of know those little bitty cities um,
Hmm.
that I lived in,
Right.
That's just kind of a cool thing. Cool.
Yeah, Little Rock is what's the biggest place. Little Rock is the biggest city there. Then there's a bunch of small towns. All those small towns by Pine Bluff, like Dumas and Stuttgart and all those places.
Man, you know those places?
Yeah, not many people do, but I know because I was down there. So,
That is so unreal. Wow.
oh yeah,
Well, hello, fellow Arkansan.
I'm a Detroiter, but
Oh,
I've been
wow.
Arkansas too.
But you know what I mean.
Yeah,
By
yeah,
way of, yeah, got
yeah,
it.
of course.
That is just too cool. Sheila's popped in, and um, I'm so glad to see her on, and she's saying, hey. We've got comments that
Okay.
are popping up as people are coming in. Just so good to have you back. Your family. And I don't want it to be that long anymore,
Yeah, it's
Jay.
been a
You
minute.
know, yeah, it has. And so I just want to kind of chop it up a little bit because we've got new music to share with
Yes, we do.
everybody. Um,
Yes, we do.
yeah. And I know you are excited about that, but I want to kind of reintroduce you since it's been so long. Um, again, you've been busy. Like, how difficult was it for you? Because I think that's probably a dumb question. I mean, coming out of the pandemic, venues barely opening at that point, not at 100%. Everybody was kind of putting their like toe in the water to make sure to test things to see if the consumers would come back, the patrons would
Mhm.
come back.
Right.
Did you find that a challenge very much beyond 21, 22
Yes,
ish
it's
for you?
really interesting because, like I tell people all the time, with the whole pandemic thing, I would say that's when I had some of my most success in my career, which is ironic. Yeah, it's
Really?
crazy as it is. It was the right before that was the first time I got on national radio. I actually hit the Billboard charts in 2020 for the first time for my song "Driven," which peaked at number 18, which got a lot of attention. I got to like 100,000 views on YouTube. It just opened up a lot of doors. And then I came back after that song with Valley of the Sun the same year, later that year. That one was picked up on national radio again and made some noise and got a lot of spins and stuff like that. So as far as the music and me releasing music and it being received by the contemporary jazz audience and
Hmm.
radio was great. And so now I did just kind of get going. The ball was just getting rolling with the live shows. I had some bookings underway. I think my last show was like at the Perfect Note down in Alabama, and then I did that right before. And then after I got done with that show, that's when everything shut down. Like pandemic fully hit, and then like festival, everything was shut down, and I was just kind of like ascending and finally getting some attention that I've been working like 15 years to try to get. And so that part was kind of, a letdown because once it was over, I kind of had to start back over when it comes to like, getting that steam going as far as live shows. Cause you know how that goes when you like, if you don't have a huge name, sometimes people may not, they may not have heard of you yet or, so I had to kind of like not fully start over, but I had to come back. I would come back several spaces to get back to where I am now.
Wow. Wow. So, what did you find? Did you have to strategize, Jay?
Hmm.
Um, I mean, because I know a lot of artists at that point started collaborating with each other. Did you notice? Like
Oh
right
yeah.
after the hmm.
Collaborating. There was a lot of online performances, like people were doing the Facebook Live stuff and asking for donations, and people wanted to kind of keep their audience engaged, and they also wanted to kind of like have some type of revenue, some extra revenue, because maybe a certain stream took a hit. So you saw all types of things going on, and it was just great when all of that was over with. When we were able to get back out here, and even outside of music, just people in general could start making money in whatever business that they had, So a lot of people took a hit.
Right. So then going forward, what kind of challenges, or if there's one that you can share with us that maybe you're not necessarily beyond, but you found was like a thorn in your side, so to speak, I mean, if at all, because I'm not saying that you have issues. Um,
There's
but
so many
was
thorns
there?
in there. I mean, not to be a pessimist, like I'm trying to figure out. I say that, but then I'm like, what can I say that's not going to come off too?
I get it.
You know what I
That's
mean?
exactly what I want you to do.
You
Yeah,
know, so it's like
yeah.
there's a lot of thorns. I mean, I'm gonna be honest that sometimes the industry itself can be a thorn in, right? Because I mean, when I
Mm.
for me as an artist, as a musician, as a saxophonist, as if you want to call it jazz, smooth jazz, whatever you want to call it, I just play my horn and play what comes out of me. But when I look at my genre, then I look at country or pop or even hip hop or whatever else, it does seem like in those spaces in those genres, when new people come on the scene and they're good and they're investing in themselves properly, or they have a major label behind them, but either way it go, they have a good product and they're investing in themselves and they're good. It seems like those spaces give them a legit space to, like, hey, here it is, see what you can do, sink or swim. But if you're good, we're gonna give you a legit opportunity. And it just seems like and I've been doing this jazz thing for a minute now, so some of it, I'm a little older, so I you get the older you get, I'm gonna just say what I say. If you don't like it, you don't like it. You know what I mean? But
Oh,
this is me, not you, but just in general.
no. I got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and
Absolutely.
it's like one thing I've observed is just that sometimes you do kind of get a tug and pull. I've noticed with newer artists, it's like you see people, they'll say it's a new artist or a rising person. It's like, well, that person's 50 years old and they're very good and they've been doing it for like 20 years. Why are they new? They're only new because you keep making them new, because you won't allow them to go ahead and be great. So that I would say that would be one of the biggest thorns in my side from what I see. And I rise above it. I don't make
Right.
excuses. I keep going, but at the same time, you can't help but to see what's going on.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You're very perceptive in that. I've noticed it, and just, it's not much being said. I
Right.
think people are picking and choosing their battles. Do you know what I
Right.
mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because, there's only so much you can do and you just move on.
And that's
Um,
where I'm at with it.
really?
Pick
Yeah.
and
Do you
choose your
think
battle.
there'll ever, before we go to break, do you think there'll ever be a level playing field? Um,
I honestly, I don't think so, because it's been so long now. So you go off of the data, right? You go off people look at statistics for a reason. When you look at what's been happening and what's still happening, is like, why would you think it's going to change now? I would say, as an artist, and anybody else listening that's an artist doing what we do, you literally have to have so many streams and different irons in the fire, and different things that you have going for yourself, to where you don't allow the industry to have that much leverage on you. So if they take
mhm,
one thing away from you, okay, well, I have 10 more things over here
to
that's
fall back
working,
on.
right? That's working well for me. So you can continue to do that, then that's fine. But I'm not gonna drown because you're doing that.
Right, right. You brought up some very valid points and things that I had actually wanted to ask, but I'm loving the authenticity of the conversation. Jay,
Thank you.
hang out for just a moment because we're going
Yep.
to take the first break of the night. And I want to thank you all for coming in and chatting with me. There's so many other things happening on Monday nights around the same time. But listen, if you can't catch all of it from the beginning to end, hashtag replay us. You'll hear the rebroadcast with the other radio partners. And I'm so grateful for being a syndicated radio show this year. It's definitely a challenge, but it's well worth it to help Jay and all the independent artists who are out there really trying to make it work and doing an absolute bang up job. So listen, don't go away. We're going to take a break and we'll be back with more of John White right here on Indie Artists Reveal Worldwide.
Join us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear the stories of artists you love and discover artists you'll learn to love on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide via Facebook and YouTube. The expansion continues. You can locate us on 10 affiliate radio stations, rebroadcasting Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide segments around the globe. Come on, join the indie community.
Jackson, Mississippi, this is Bonnie James. I am so excited to be coming to the Jackson Convention Complex on March 14th. It's our first time playing there. You guys need to come out and check it out. Slow Burn Tour. Tickets are on sale now. See you there.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Happy Monday, Music Monday. I've got a very special guest tonight, and his name is John White, better known as Jay White, in the house. And it's been about 4 years or more since we last saw him. It's just been really a thrill, John, because I've been circling back to those who I haven't, some of them I hadn't seen since during the pandemic.
Wow.
Even one before, JJ Sansaverino.
Oh yeah.
He was on, with Selena Albright, my sister. And I think it was like 2019-ish.
Wow. Yeah. 2019. It's crazy that 2019 was that long ago now.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh my God. And so just having you guys come back and seeing where you are, that means a lot to me, and I'm glad that you're still out there and you're doing the thing that you love to do, which is playing music. And I do remember one of the questions that I had asked was about the voice, the saxophone voice that you liked the most. And at the time you said to me, "Oh, 100% alto." Do you remember that?
I think I do remember that. Yeah. And that sounds like something I would say, because that is, my voice is, I'm an alto guy, so you got your tenor guys, and I play soprano a lot too. Most of the time, if you see me performing out live somewhere, it's going to be alto and soprano. So that's kind of my thing.
So you are kind of incorporating the soprano voice into some of the things that you're doing. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So my last few records, there's always going to be one or two songs on the record that's all soprano sax. My last full record, Free, I had the song Spirit Walk was all soprano. So yeah, that's I love the contrast between the alto and soprano, and really the tenor and soprano is a big contrast too. So
it is.
You're playing a different instrument almost, because it sounds so different. So I kind of like have that as an aspect of the show, because it's like a nice switch up. You're doing a live show.
But do you think you'll ever kind of utilize the tenor to do something? Usually it's a sultry tone with the tenor.
I think I will. A lot of people have been saying it, and I played tenor before in college, and I've messed around on it. So it's all the same finger, and it's different keys. But it's funny because the tenor and the soprano are in the same key. So if everything I would play on soprano ideally would translate over, melodically to like the tenor, because it's in B flat. But tenor is a different animal too. Some people are like really mainly tenor guys, and a lot of times, the tenor guys, you very rarely see them on alto, and the guys that are mainly alto, you very rarely see them on tenor. So, but I do like the tenor, so it's something that I probably will, especially doing this. I plan on doing this until I'm an old man, and can't do it anymore. So, with that being said, I'm definitely always looking to switch it up, add something different in the tenor, or something I can do to add different.
Absolutely. And Sheila brought up the same thing you and I chatted about early today when I called you about your track. She was remembering you in St. Louis.
Oh yeah,
a few years ago. Yeah, that was so cool.
Ish. That was like 22-ish.
Yeah, that was. And you know what, John? I got sick when I got back here. I ended up with COVID.
Oh no! Wow,
man, I got back here and I started feeling really weird. The thing, it wasn't like, with COVID, there was this mass spread of people saying, "Oh, my chest hurts," or "Oh, my head hurts." You know what? It only affected my voice.
Really?
Now
that's different.
Yeah, it was different. Yeah.
That's interesting that you ended up getting it right after that, because I know we were in contact a lot. I think we were in the backstage or somewhere in the green room. So we were right next. But ironically enough, I never got COVID, which is so weird. I actually did take the vaccine once, but people take the vaccine, they still got it, you know.
Yep.
So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know. I never got it. It's weird. And everybody in my house had it, and so that was like we make a joke, like, "What kind of blood type you got? How did you never get COVID?"
I know, and I even because I called my sister and friend Michelle, who of course was the promoter of the concert, and I told her because I do know I ended up being the host of that. I wasn't supposed to be the host.
Right.
The host got sick while I was there.
Oh my God.
And so she said, Sabrina, I said, I want to watch the concert.
You just want to chill.
I just wanted to chill. And that's literally how I ended up hosting it. Yeah.
Wow.
And so the mic was being passed from person to person to person.
Makes sense. Yeah.
And I didn't think about that. Had I, and I'm not calling anybody nasty or anything,
Right.
but a microphone gathers bacteria.
Yeah.
And so, probably 2 days, three at the max, I got back and it hit me so bad. I literally had to quarantine myself. I went to a hotel for like 5 days.
Wow.
And I know that the third day of being in the hotel, I could barely talk. It just, nothing would come between my vocal cords. And what's ironic about that symptom is just a month or so ago, I couldn't, it was the same thing. Now, I didn't get tested.
Mm.
So it might have been COVID.
Yeah, because it's definitely
I
back.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it was the exact same attack. I didn't have chest pains. I had a slight, but I could not even talk. And
That's
so,
crazy.
yeah. So there's a lot of viral illnesses that are going around. So,
Yep.
yeah, you be mindful while you're out there among your
Yep.
fans. And
'Cause
how do you protect yourself? What do you do? Because you don't want to be standoffish, Jay.
and I never am. And people wear masks. I see people wearing masks now, like they were during COVID. I mean, to be honest with you, I wash my hands a lot. I don't, do anything in particular. Like I speak to people, like I'm at shows, and
Mhm.
I try to keep some distance. Some people will come right up in your face, and it's like, wait a minute, you're a little close. But I back up a little bit.
I
That
love
happens. I back up, and yeah, but I don't. I'm engaging to because my thing is like you would be nuts as a entertainer or a musician or artist to like not engage with everybody that's into what you do. Like
yeah,
without these people caring about your music and you, then you don't have a job. You don't have a career.
you don't.
So if
Yeah.
you want to see these CD sign a picture or have a little light I get a little light conversations a lot, but I'll have a light conversation because again that I've been on the other side of that when you want to talk to somebody that you like what they do and then they kind of blow you off. People never forget that.
And they don't. And they take it to heart. And
Mhm.
before you know it, you're like, well, where's such and such?
Yeah,
Haven't seen them in a while.
yeah, because you
Yeah.
blew them off.
Because
That's why.
that's why. That's why. Who are some of your sax influences, Jay?
Oh, yeah. Love Grover Washington Jr. The late Grover Washington Jr. Got
Yeah.
into him kind of late, but his style is kind of I feel like closer. I'm closer to what he was. But I love Kirk Whalum. Probably
Oh, yeah.
my favorite living saxophone player. Got a chance to meet him a couple times and actually played with him for the first time on stage at the Mexico Jazz Festival a couple months ago, which was that's one of the greatest opportunities just to somebody that you idolize and that you've been listening to and transcribing their music and since you were like 15 to at this point be able to like and then get up there and he called me up to play and and I just to get it I literally got a kind of a sign a nod from him and I'm like, oh my God, Kurt Whalum, I think he thinks I sound good right here. And it's just like it's yeah, it's one of them things where I was on cloud nine for a while. I'm still kind of like when I think about it, like, man, that's just like that was just awesome to get up there and play with him. And we kind of, had that conversation, that music jazz conversation. And, it's all the years full circle to be able to do that, all the practicing and, wanting to be good at what I do. And I'm still trying to be the best in practicing, but it was nice to get some type of recognition from somebody like that.
And you know what, John? That was my next question. You guys, I promise he didn't even know what questions I was going to ask him this time for sure. What is, how disciplined are you in rehearsing?
I would say very disciplined. I was practicing a day for a couple hours. So I try
Yeah.
to get daily practice in. Obviously, sometimes I can't because like I'm busy, I'm moving. Like I have like, I do some local things here in Phoenix to where some things I do here that keep me going. But when I'm not having to go out and play during the day and stuff like that, if I'm not recording and all that, yeah, I just have my horns. They're sitting out right over there. I have my horns and stuff, and I have my sheet music. I work on a lot of classic jazz. Like I'm working on, I got this written out solo for Giant Steps by John Coltrane and a couple of other standards that I just been like every day, just like taking it faster and faster. And I think I almost got the solo memorized now. So, I really love the idea of just being the best version of yourself and being the best musician I can be.
Mhm.
I think as musicians, we do put a lot of pressure on ourselves,
Yeah.
just too much pressure of just
Yep.
being the best. But at the
Mhm.
same time, there's nothing wrong with always trying to, reach for the stars. And that's kind of how I've always been that way, with anything I do. So, but yeah, I'm pretty disciplined. I still practice regularly, and I'm still getting exercises and looking at videos and like, man, I got to get better at this. All right, let me get this exercise so I can try to get better at this type
Yeah.
thing.
Do you go back and listen to your older releases so that you know where you were and strategize to get to the next level, if you will?
So the first part of your question broke up. I had, I think, a bad service.
So, do you go back? Do you go back and listen to your music?
I do sometimes. Sometimes I don't like to because I'm like, like especially if I hear something I don't like, I'm like, I didn't like that. It's just like, and it's like this is documented and it's recorded, and I can never unhear that. That's never gonna not be heard now. So, but
Mhm.
I do go back and listen to stuff. But then sometimes I get pleasantly surprised. Like, wow, I'm like that was like 10 years ago, and I'm like that was pretty good. I'm like that's pretty decent for 10. I'm better than that now, but 10 years ago that was pretty good.
Sure.
Um, so
Sure.
yeah, I do that a lot. But I try not to, overdo it because sometimes you can get stuck in the past and it's like, and then if you listen to it too much, you may get stuck in your head and you start repeating stuff. Sometimes you want fresh ideas and
Yeah.
fresh melodies. Just leave it there and just like, where are you at now, and start trying to create music from where you're at now.
Wow. I think that's great. I really, really do. And I've been kind of looking and watching and, diving, following you, literally. Matter of fact, I was on Instagram today and I was looking through a lot, excuse me, a lot of your past performances. Arizona Jazz Fest, was that how, like, was that the first time, second time, third time? How many times have you been on that fest?
I've been on there a few, I don't even remember, like maybe 3 or 4 times.
Three or
When I
four?
first moved to Arizona, I was like an opener. Like, so I was on that Warren Hill Sax Summit in
Ah,
2018.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember that, but I went out to California. I was still living in Arkansas. Flew out to California on my own dime, and that's when I got a chance to meet Warren Hill and everybody. Huge Groove was there, Michael Linton, and there
Mhm.
was some festival promoters there and stuff too. So I got second place in that competition, and that was when everybody was like, "Oh man, this is," they were digging what I was doing. So I got a chance to be on the Arizona Jazz Festival back then, and they put me on the San Diego Jazz Festival. I did the Las Vegas Jazz Festival back when they was doing that, and so then I moved out to Arizona like that next year, and everything has been I just been kind of going up and up and up from there. But I've been on the AZ Festival a few times. I was going to be on it's rescheduled to November this year, so it's still going on. It's going to be November 7th through the 9th. So I'm on it again this year.
Are you? That is so great. There
Mhm.
were some heavy hitters on there, though.
It
Um,
it always actually it always is. I mean, and it's always like I was on the last one. I think it was this past October. Uh,
mhm.
it was a sea of people. There's always thousands of people that come. A lot of people from California come out to Arizona, so it's always a huge festival. So it's definitely one that you don't want to miss. So yeah, last year was some heavy hitters. This one's going to be, I think Al Green is on there. They got Babyface is going to be on this one, and then of course a bunch of jazz acts like Mike Phillips is going to be on there, myself. Gerald Albright. So it's gonna be good.
Wow. Did you say Babyface?
Yeah, you want. It says circling back to Babyface, huh? Yeah.
Oh, how I love him. I
Oh yeah.
love him so much. I when I tell you I love Babyface.
I don't think there's one bad song he's ever written or sang. Like not one.
Not one. I'm telling you. It is. Whew, I'll move on. And I just keep saying, I am going to interview him. I am going to interview him. I'm getting him in that chair that you're in. Well, maybe not in your house, but you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Speak it. Speak that
I
into
am
existence.
going to get him in the chair. And also you did a holiday CD.
Oh
It
yeah.
was nice.
Thank you. Yeah, it was a long time coming. I was very happy to finally get a Christmas album done. It's been like 10 years in the making. People, I would post videos every year that's on my Facebook or like social media of me playing a song, like, just in my living room or something. And people like, when are you going to do the Christmas album? We got to have that. And, every year and working with other people, that's what really holds it up. Like if I did everything myself, I would get it done in a month or two, but you're working with different producers and, certain deadlines. People say they're going
Mhm.
to have something done, then it's not done. And then, so you have to wait and
Right.
then it is. So many of the moving pieces, but I finally got it done. And it was well worth the wait. I was happy to have 8 songs on there. So it's more than what I thought I was going to have. It was well received. And I couldn't pass up doing the CD because people are like, what are you going to name it? I'm like, of course it's going to be called A Jay White Christmas. What else can I call it with that last name?
What else? Oh God, it was such a nice CD, and I just love it. I love it. Jay, we're going to take the last break of the night
Okay.
because I definitely have more questions that I want to pose. Of course, we have the premiere that's coming up too, so hang tight, and I'll come back to you.
Okay.
And I just want to say thank you, everybody who's popping in and all of the questions and the comments. It is so good to see the family here on a Music Monday. Don't go too far. We've got more from Jay White. We've got the premiere right here on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide.
4-time Grammy-nominated Boney James is coming to Jackson, Mississippi. The Sip. Boney James has been featured with iconic artists such as Kenny Lattimore, October London, Layla Hathaway, and more. Now, Boney is headlining Friday, March 14th at the Jackson Convention Center with special guest Billboard charting artist flautist Reagan Whiteside. Doors open at 7 p.m. Showtime is 8 p.m. Visit www.jevents.com. Join us every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time to hear the stories of artists you love and discover artists you'll learn to love on Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide via Facebook and YouTube. The expansion continues. You can locate us on 10 affiliate radio stations, rebroadcasting Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide segments around the globe. Come on, join the indie community.
We are so excited to be in the company, or will be in the company, of James. He's coming to the Jackson, Mississippi area. I have been working on that promotion since January of this year. Part of the team bringing him in, all the graphics, all the voiceovers. That is me. It's in history, and I am so proud to be a part of the team that is promoting Boney James at the Jackson Convention Center. Yeah, that would be myself. Make sure that you go on to www.jevents.com and get your tickets. We still have a few left. The VIP may be sold out. I don't know. But make sure you go onto the website and see what's there It is this Friday, and you are going to enjoy Boney James. If you've never seen him live, well, now is the time, Jackson, Mississippi, to see him. Our guest tonight, though, right here at Indie Artist Reveal Worldwide, is none other than Billboard charting artist Jay White. He is here with us. Jay, you have your own label, Jay White Entertainment. How long have you had your own label?
I've been independent my entire career. So, my first real CD, a new jazz swagger came out in 2012. Um, but that was actually before I really got the LLC and everything established.
Right,
So
right.
now that
Yeah.
I got that established, I would say about 5 years ago, honestly. So, but
Mhm.
everything since the J White Entertainment LLC and everything has been established. Yeah, I've been independent this entire time. So everything is more streamlined and legit now, though. So
Exactly is what I'm talking about. Exactly. I know you've been independent for quite some time. So do you prefer, or is it just a trend that you are trying to stay on the waves of being um, one who releases singles versus a full blown project? What do you prefer?
I prefer a full blown project.
Yeah.
You kind of do have to follow the current of whatever your industry is going kind of going. And if you even notice outside of like even jazz, people are doing singles more because the industry has changed, right? Like people are streaming music, they don't really buy music like they used to. Like
Right.
so with that being said, there's a lot of money that goes into putting together a single and or a full project. So if you're going to put all that money into a full project, and if you don't think the return is going to be what it is, then why do you keep doing that? So the singles is kind of the where that may, or the EPs is what people are kind of doing because that makes more
Hmm.
sense fiscally when it comes to like you putting the money into it. So but I always, I have a single, then I usually try to follow up with some type of EP or album, like later that year or the next year. Like my last full contemporary jazz EP was 2022 with or 23, I think it was 23 with Free. But before that, I had like two singles the year before that, and so then the next year I put the full EP out. And so I'm doing the same thing now. So my plan is to have another EP or album um, later this year if all works where I want it to work. If
Yeah.
not this year, then top of next year. But there are already songs completed and ready to go. So
Wow. Wow. So then, are you producing? Who is producing? Let's say it like that. Who's doing the lion's share of the production for the music that we've been hearing from Jay White?
it's always been a collaboration, like myself, and I work with different producers every time. Now
Oh.
Lou Lang is one of my favorites. We work well together, and Lou
Mhm.
Lou will send me over some ideas he's had, like some tracks, like basically like blank tracks with a groove. The groove is there, and then
Yeah.
I'll write to it, like similar to where like a singer may get a track from somebody, then they write lyrics and they write a song to it. Same thing I do with the saxophone. So, but Lou Lang is one of the people I work with a lot. But I've worked with Greg Manning in the past, and I worked with Eric Valentine. Who else have I worked with? Yeah, I'm sure I'm forgetting some Jeff Kennedy out of Detroit. So I work,
Oh,
work with
amazing.
different producers, and then I do it all myself too, right? So like I'll get a track and then I get it, then I'll try to come up with a melody. I'll write a hook to it and make a song. So, I definitely have it to where I don't have to get everything done by somebody else. Like I have my own studio at home. So once I get the music, then I'm the one pulling it up into my Logic to my interface, and I'm pulling it up into the editing and stuff like that, recording on my saxophone, and then that's why I go from there.
Wow. Wow. So do you do the lion's share of you do the lion's share of writing for the sax part though?
Yeah,
Yes?
I do all of that. Yeah, so every
All of that. Okay.
yeah,
Excuse me.
every song, yeah, every song
You
that you
snake.
heard. Yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where everything else there's a couple of songs on my records where I actually did play keys and do production, but most of the time somebody else is doing that. But the saxophone, when it comes to that, then I'm right literally where I'm sitting at right here in this space is where I do it all at.
Wow. That's amazing. Ah, that's amazing. Are there any nuances when you're recording that you love that you can share that we never see, that we don't even know about? I mean, it's just off the cuff question. That whenever you're going into the studio, particular nuance that comes up that you're excited about, or no?
Well, yeah, as far as just the experience and like I said, the different things that can come up, yeah, I really love to create music. I get in my zone. Like honestly,
Yeah.
like when like I'm by myself, you know, a lot of times there's nobody home or I have my door closed. I For me, it's about a mood too. So I like when it's like either rainy outside or a cloudy day, or I like when it's sunny sometimes, and I just get in my own space. And then if I'm and when I'm trying to come up with a melody or some type of hook, it may take a minute. I'll keep playing it back, playing a song over and over, and just like wait until it feels right, until where the notes
Mm,
feel right over the rhythm and stuff like that. And but like I get excited to answer your question. I get excited when it starts to come together, and you can tell, you can feel it's coming together. It's like I'm on to
mhm.
something. Then you start coming up with the harmonies and some different parts you want to stack, and I put a
Yep.
right here, and it's like next thing you know, you sit down and you hit the playback and you're like, okay, same thing with the song On Your Feet that we're about to listen to. That's how
Oh,
that's how that went. It's like, okay, I'm on to something with this, you know.
well, talk about it. Set it up for us on your feet.
Yeah, On Your Feet. And Lou Lang did a great job with that track. He sent that over. He sent over a few tracks, and I picked that one. I'm like, yeah, this right here is a groove right here. I could do something with this. And if it reminded me of like something you can step to, something you can get up and move to. And I wanted to make a record like that. I hadn't done that in a while, where I recorded or made a record where on a saxophone where people may want to get up and like do some moving. And so I grew up in Detroit. Stepping is something that goes on a lot there in the Midwest and Chicago and Detroit. And so I pictured my aunts and stuff like that, and and people I know getting up, moving. And that
Mhm.
song On Your Feet, I named it On Your Feet because that's exactly what we're going to play at my live show this week too. So I expect people to get on their feet and move. So I really like the tune.
I love the tune, John. So much so, of course, I put together a little video,
Did-
just for indie artists to reveal worldwide fans and family and followers and friends, so that you can feel the groove, what he wants you to get from it. I want it to implement in a visual for you guys. So I want you to enjoy all around video, the audio from our good friend and brother and family member now of
Yeah,
Indie Artist Revealed Worldwide, Jay White, John White, Jay White, um,
it's fine.
all the same. Yeah, all roads lead to John White. So you guys let us know, hearts, emojis, and we'll chat about it when we return. So enjoy. That's music from our guest tonight, Jay White. It's called On Your Feet. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There are so many comments that have popped up. Very,
Mm.
very nice, beautiful song.
Yeah,
Sheila's dancing, of course. Kat
so
from Friday
Sheila,
Night Live says, pretty skyline, pretty skyline. So,
all of them were. Thank you
yeah.
for that video. That was great.
Oh, you're welcome. You are so welcome. What is happening with the song now? You just released it, was it Friday?
Yeah, so it was just released Friday. Went to
Yeah.
radio today. So we got some
Oh,
ads going today, and we're just starting out literally today. So we're hoping for some good things with that, and yeah, so just national radio campaign going, and yeah, just getting
oh.
started.
Who's your radio promoter?
Linda Penn, she's
Linda Penn. She's great.
yeah.
She is like quietly becoming a weapon.
Right? I heard a lot of good things about her. She definitely is becoming a weapon because that's how I heard about her, just from seeing her move and doing things. So,
Yep. Hmm.
she's very good at what she does, and I'm
Yep.
happy to be working with her.
Wow. So what do we have coming up for you next, Jay?
So the main thing is I have my own Valley of the Sun jazz concert series I'm doing, and it's actually this Thursday is the first one. We're almost sold out, so I'm happy about that. We got like a couple more tickets to get going, and so this Thursday in Chandler, Arizona, it's going to be me and my band. We're performing all my
Uh-huh.
stuff and some covers and things like that. So, and then I have another concert here in March 30th at a resort out here, full concert. I'm heading to Vegas April 4th. Just got added to that situation out there. It's going to be a nice jazz series they're doing at a very nice speakeasy. It's unlike the Vegas Strip. So, yeah, April 4th there. We got Spaghettini in California, June 30th. It was a great. I was my first time performing at Spaghettini last year, sold out, and so they're bringing me back this year, and we're looking forward to killing it again.
Oh wow, I saw the video of you on stage there, Spaghettini. I thought, Jay, he's a Spaghettinis. Look at you. Seal, what is it?
Seal
Sylvie,
Beach. Seal
yeah,
Beach, yeah. Seal Beach.
Sylvie,
Really, really nice
yeah.
venue. Like, obviously, it's well known.
Of course.
It's
Mhm.
iconic venue that just some of the everybody plays at. So it was, it's great to finally get a show there, and great that it was successful.
Wow. So beyond Spaghettini, are you putting together a tour or are you just allowing, your steps to be ordered or
Kind of
what do
both.
you,
Kind of
yeah.
both, but I am putting together a tour. So I just signed with Infinity Artist Group as well. They have like there's several artists on there that it's a booking agency, but it's also artist development as well. So just signed with them, and we already got some things in the works. There's some dates right now coming out of Texas that we're getting ready to lock in. We're gonna do a Texas run here soon. And so there's a lot going as far as, and that's what's great, that it's opening up more with being on the Arizona Jazz Festival, being on the
Mhm.
Mexico Jazz Festival. People are seeing, getting a chance to see me do what I do on stage, and it's starting to finally translate. So between what I'm doing myself and Infinity Artist Group, is definitely things are about to go to a whole nother level.
And that's what I was going to ask you about. So are they booking, development, branding? Are they a culmination of all these things for you,
It's a
Jay?
combination of all these things. So ideally for me, it was just booking. So that was the main thing, was just the booking agency.
Mm-hmm,
But
hmm.
I have some contacts there, and there's some great ideas that have been shot to me, that actually are already working. That's help get this show I have this week has been helping to get it sold out. So like the marketing that they're doing, and everything streamlined, and some of the different ways they know how to tweak social media and all that is like, so yeah, it turned out to be more than just booking for me. It turned out to be some needed development stuff as well, that's been kind of
Exactly.
needed
Yeah.
to be added to.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is so great. If there was any key advice that you could give an up and coming artist or an artist who's been around and they're kind of struggling, um, what would that be at this moment?
it may sound cliche, but definitely consistency. You have to be consistent. You have to operate in the spirit of excellence as much as you can, and as much as you can
Mhm.
afford to operate in the spirit of excellence. And and just kind of like you got to have a resilient type of attitude, because we all have the disappointment, we all have the doors slammed in our face, we all have the phone calls that are not returned. So right, that's literally something that everybody has to go through. So once you know that, it's almost no point in complaining about it, because it's not personal. I had to learn that too, because I would take it like, why they don't see what I'm doing, they won't call me back, they act like I can't do the show. Like it's not even personal. Most of the time they barely even remember you, or they're not sitting there thinking about not dealing with you. You're not on their mind. So you have to make it to where you have so much going on to where you are on people's mind, because you've made yourself that relevant. So that's kind of what I focus on.
Wow. And that is so, so true. I've heard the personal part of it. What they don't see what I'm doing, what's wrong with me. It can give you a complex,
Hmm.
and it can cause you to become a pessimist
Bitter.
versus and bitter. Absolutely. But when you realize, for the venue owner, it is about butts and seats and money.
Absolutely.
Um, and I mean, that's what people are in business for, is to make money.
Right.
And I do know that there are sometimes when venue owners just won't budge, because sometimes there are artists that are so, I mean, just fabulous artists. They may not have 129,000 followers. You know
Mm.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
100.
You know, I'm just using a number, Jay, okay?
Mhm.
They may not have 10,000 Spotify
Yeah. Mhm.
monthly listeners, but they're consistent, as
Mhm.
you just said. They're consistent. Their music is amazing. They move in excellence, and it's like, how can they get the exposure if you're always closing the door? So there's that, you know, that catch 22 there.
Yeah.
Um,
What you just said is like, and that kind of stuff. I've been there. Like when I first, and I'm also with a distribution company. That's why, like, I'm independent, but I have like different people and companies I work with. So I have distribution. So when I release music, Stacey Taylor, had to give her name out. She likes to stay incognito, but they're great at getting my stuff out there. And when I first started working with them, on Spotify, I used to have like a couple hundred monthly listeners, maybe 900 monthly listeners and stuff like that. And
yeah,
now I'm sitting at 21,000, and at one point it was like almost 100,000 when the Christmas album came out a couple months ago. It did so well. I was like holding at like literally 100,000 monthly listeners, which for independent, there's a lot of people on labels that don't have that. As far as jazz
my
goes.
my
So
point exactly. Yeah,
but the reason, but I said that to say that, and I've been able to help a few people out with putting them in contact with some people as well. But the consistency is what allowed me to even, in knowing the right people myself, but the consistency
right.
to know the right people to even get linked up with certain type of people. If I would have gave up 10 years ago or 15 years ago, then I might not have got to the pot of gold. So just literally just keep doing what you're doing and keep putting out quality music, and like when they say no, then just be like, go to the next person, then they'll say yes. Then the people that said no will come back and have to say yes.
In that, it see, that's the thing. People will have to circle back to you,
They
and
will.
and I'm going to share, and I'm not going to say who, but I'm just going to say I had posed an interview for a huge artist, and they said no,
Mm. Just flat out
and
no.
to, politely said
Um,
no,
wow.
politely said no. But you know what? The time will come when they will circle back.
Yeah. And they
Now,
made you.
did it hurt at first? It was like, well, what's wrong?
Hmm.
But I have to look at the fact that it, it's about, the need at the moment. I'm a trooper. I'm resilient. I'm professional. I walk in excellence. I move in excellence.
Hmm.
And so I was, I just kept doing what I was doing. Um, and so the thing is that the day will come when I won't just have 8.6 thousand followers,
Hmm.
you know,
And that's not bad.
and that's not bad,
Yeah.
but I guess it wasn't enough,
Yeah.
right? Now my branded page is a little less than that, but if you combine the two, that is 10,000 followers.
Right. It's a lot of people.
Yeah, it is. And so, but I just said the day will come and I will gladly say, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You're gonna do it on my terms. The answer is yes. Right. And I say
Oh,
the same thing. Like when people say, you can't take it too personal because I may say what I say, but when they circle back, I'm gonna take the gig. I'm still gonna do the gig. The price may be different, but I'm still gonna do the
mhm,
gig.
mhm.
You
Yeah,
know.
it's like it might be slightly higher.
Yeah.
Oh, but I said that to say it happens to the best of us, but it's how you respond
Yeah. And it happens to
that
everybody.
really, really matters. Yeah, yeah. Well, John, we have thoroughly enjoyed you, and we are just, we're proud of you, your
Thank you.
accomplishments. I said the last time, I said, even if you fall, the only place you can go is up from there, you
Hmm.
know? And I said, you're going to keep going higher and higher and higher. I'm not
Thank you.
saying you've been without challenges, right?
Okay.
But I know your consistency is now paying off. And we're just so godly proud of all that you are doing right now.
Y'all my
Yeah.
people. I appreciate it. You hit me up. I was like, absolutely, come on the show. It's perfect timing because the song literally just came out. I'm like, yeah, this is perfect. It was the divine timing for that. So
Wow. Well, if there's ever anything that I can help you with, we can help you with here at the reveal. Just let us know, and we are Johnny on the spot right there for you. The door's always open. You don't need an invitation anymore.
just hit you
Once
up.
you just gotta hit me up and say, Sabrina, I got a full blown uh work of art here that I wanted to come on to the show and talk about. And I'll say, absolutely. When do you want
When
to
I
come?
make when I make my run down in the dirty South, I'm gonna have to hit you up make sure you tell people about the shows.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That would be so wonderful. Well, John, um, you know, I I just want to say, just keep doing what you're doing, and we are just going to be on the sidelines,
I appreciate it. Thank you so
cheering you
much.
on. Just cheering you on.
And I
Yes.
appreciate it. I thank
Oh,
you.
you're so welcome. And, people are saying congratulations, hand claps, great interview.
Thank you.
Kat said that part. I know, sis. I know exactly what you're talking about. Awesome interview. Best wishes, John, from Friday Night Live with Kat Carter.
Hey
You've been
there.
on our show before, haven't
I
you?
have. Yeah, no cat. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forgot what year it was, but absolutely.
Then you need to go on back over there and share that great music with her audience, and just share with everybody. It's a great tune, John.
Thank you.
It's,
Well, I hope that is well received. I like it, so I'm glad you like it, and you were the one of the first to actually interview and talk about it and share it. So, thank you for that.
you are so welcome. Well, listen, everybody, thank you for popping in and sitting down for the time that you've been with us. Those who are on the outside of the eye, thank you for viewing. If you're getting it on the replay, hashtag replay for me, please. It will be rebroadcasted on several other radio stations, not this week, but the following week. So you'll see all the posts, and John, I'll tag you in every last one of them. So,
Great. Sounds good.
all right, listen, everybody, remember what you make happen for others, God will make it happen for you. You take care, and I will see you guys next week. Take care.